All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is taken at the 3.
The Bears take over first and 10. At their own 24-yard line.
Set up. 60 Pittsburgh. Let's go. 61. Matchbox right. Tighten up. Shoot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Back to throw here. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
And the Bears first down.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant. Recon. 132 fighter.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Bang, 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 bang. Rock it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to throw now on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now back to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Flushed out right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Was trying to get it to Darius Geis out of the backfield, but it's going to be second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Alert, alert. Switch gears. Pass. Watch the whip. 6.
Now Allen throwing again. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Allen. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Bears take over. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
8-3. Let's make these big. Stand up. Let's make these go.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Dorian O'Daniel, the linebacker from Clemson.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Bud Dupree make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Let's get this.
Now Ito Smith. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, the Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen, complete. Smith has it. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Hey, hold. Watch twist. Check 9. Hey, exit. Watch the slant. Motion. Mike's 59. You fuck out.
From the gun, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Pilot, 64. Weak. Go. Hey, lock it. Go. Staying open. Ready.
2nd and 6. Big loss here as he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And he's able to get it out of there. He'll take it at the 42. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Haywood! Watch the ship! Hey, watch the ship!
Here's Allen to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. And he's taken down inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Check. Hey, zoom. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen again. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Check. 22 jet bomber. Regular. 56.
On play action, Allen. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Check.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And an alley to run. That one good for 33 and a first.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up. And you let them out.
Take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
60 Pittsburgh. Go out. You got tight. You got tight right there. Yo, go, go. Back up. Get.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I-7.
Back to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
59, Mike. 59, Mike. Check. 59. Check pass.
Throwing now is Allen. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Allen off the play fake. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Rush in. He's crashing. Hey, seam 6.
Here's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Cox. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Keep playing hard. Hey, hold. Half 10. Let's get it. Hey, Delta. Check. 59. General West. Watch twist. Stop.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
50, plant. Ready weapons.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Look at me. Go up. Now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Go. Ready.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
At the 23-yard line.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". LA, here we go. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Here we go. Mike, check, 59. Now watch one. Check 59.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Get that ball. Middle. 26, check 26. Middle.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position. A touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Bravo.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up a throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Forced out to... And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Down under 2 minutes to go. in this football game. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, there in the fourth quarter, the Jets have now taken a lead late over the Patriots. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Now Allen. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Geis. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
To throw is Allen. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Now back to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The open man is Smith.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 16. So after the INT, it's Allen going deep downfield for Ross. This is intercepted.